Hopefully the PC won't die this time. I think it's because if I don't reboot it in a while, if I don't reboot the PC and I just leave it in sleep mode, for some reason it has all kinds of problems for like no apparent reason. So we've got high performance sport, basically a coupe but a much higher performance version. Can start off with this for now. Change it as and how we need. That's an advert. We can go see what size we want. Large, okay. So we have got large, and we have got what engine positioning? A front engine. This is interesting. Okay, so let's hope it's not going to have leaf springs. I'm not gonna do the year because I honestly sometimes if I do the year it'll restrict certain technologies. Okay, we have got 7, 5. That's partial aluminium, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Partial aluminium. I'll take this. Although, granted, I did get, I think it was partial carbon fibre before, and then it put leaf springs on the front. So, who knows how things are going to go wrong on this build. If I'm lucky, it'll be pretty minor things that go wrong. Are we getting 4? I think it loves semi-space frame, so 1, 2, 3. But it's a full space frame. I mean, I had that in like a pickup truck thing I did offline. This is actually starting to make sense, though. It is front-wheel drive, which is definitely odd, but still. Yeah, the aluminium kind of thing. Ah, yeah, Z and Z. That's another thing. I feel like you can make infinite arguments about it, but ultimately, I just don't think it really matters how it's said, as long as the intent is the same. I think that's the important thing, personally. If it gets to the point no one understands what you're saying, then perhaps it's a cause of concern. Light AHS steel. This is giving me a good configuration, and that is exactly why I am scared. So it only gives me front transverse and front longitudinal. That's interesting, so it only gives me the front engine layout, which is, I'm not going to complain because with this particular body, we are already given that. That is a given, we're not going to go mid-mounted. So it's not something I can ever see a reason to complain, but we are going to go with seeing what option we get. Yeah, I mean, I think personally it sounds, on the context it is some, it's a weird way to see it perhaps, but I think different terms can flow better on how it's said, on what part of what word and stuff. It's like 350Z I think just sounds off. 350Z just sounds more natural if you're talking about the Nissan. But then I'd call it, the old one I'd call 300ZX because, I don't know, like they're technically different, but I know this is, honestly, it's a large front-wheel drive, but this isn't cursed. Like, it was terrible before. It's actually making a lot of sense. It's not letting me put leaf springs on the front. I think because it's front transverse, it saved me there. Struts on the front makes a lot of sense in terms of engine sizing. This makes too much sense. I'm just waiting for the wheel to do something cruel. I mean, it could give me leaf springs on this next one. Although that wouldn't destroy the car, it has given me rear leaf springs before on certain builds. The other one was just so cursed. I'll take that. It's not the best kind of independent suspension, to be honest. Automation even considers it semi-independent, but it's at least a decent sprung setup. It is not live axle, so I'll take this as a win. This, honestly, I'm just waiting. Yeah, the design will probably be normal, yeah. Unless, as I say, automation completely messes it up. But this is the place where it could really mess something up. It's a bit unconventional to have a front-wheel drive space frame, but there's nothing wrong with the setup. Now, I think these are all pretty high-performance coupe bodies, technically. Some are convertible, some aren't, but I can actually let the wheel decide this. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, there's 7 different bodies, and I believe they all are fit for the kind of brief. So I'll let it choose which one of these bodies it wants. 7, okay. It's probably the most interesting looking of the lot. I believe the closest that I can think of off the top of my head is the Audi A2 from the early 2000s. I think that was supposed to have a space frame and it was front-wheel drive. It's not like a sports car body, but it's the closest I can immediately think of. I think it was also aluminium, so is this like in part... Yeah, this is probably a part steel. This is probably the closest to an Audi A2, which it doesn't seem like the case, but it definitely reminds me of that in terms of overall layout. Granted, it could throw a spanner in the works with the engine and stuff and put a V12 in or whatever. A pushrod V12, who knows? At least it doesn't look cursed. And we do need to generate a colour. So, generate a colour, generate a colour. I'll use these second too. It's gone red and green again. It's feeling very festive. So, copy to clipboard. It's feeling very festive again. It's built a festive car. So we'll go advanced paint mode. I think I can go select it here. Yes. There we go. I think that's the red. It's very close, so I'm going to have to rename it so it doesn't get confused with a standard red, I think. I think if I go basic paint mode, there we go. Because then it gives me a red. It's so easy to confuse it, even if it is slightly different. And then we'll go... Yep, this is a shooting brake indeed. I just saw that body split there. I thought, is this a convertible? I don't think it is. I think it's just because it's an odd body and it's been modified in an odd way from the original design of the C7. I think it's a C7 Corvette. I mean, it says 2007, but I believe it is a little newer than that in the actual C7. Granted, they have to give a bit more, what do you call it? The other car, it went with, it was basically Santa's pickup truck it built. So I'm going to go 1, 2, because this will be the all-driven wheels versus the front-driven wheels only. And we have got 2, so yeah, as I say, we've got one of the all-wheel drive variants, which will be something we'll see. So, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, it's decided not to have front-wheel drive, and I have to honour what the wheel says. How is this being so good? In terms of overall like shape and size, I am getting Mitsubishi 3000 GT vibes. I don't know with the engine, but I know that had a transverse engine in the front, and it was kind of a coupe, and it also had all-wheel drive. So that's the vibe I'm getting right now. That I don't believe was a space frame, but I still kind of see the resemblance. But I think for a wheel car, we are actually onto something for just a completely random car. And we've got a boxer engine. I won't be going under 2 litres. I made that mistake last time I had a boxer engine. It just did not work. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I shouldn't need to reiterate that. So we're going to get at least 4 cylinders. I am scared of only getting 4, but at least it's got good balance if we do get a 4-cylinder. So that is definitely a good thing. Yes, thank you. You've actually given me a half-decent engine. I was concerned because 4 cylinders don't tend to deal with a lot of power. 6 is a lot better at dealing with power and displacement and stuff. You've got 50% extra cylinders, so it would be. And I mean, it kind of makes sense. It's a bit of an odd engine to have transverse, but I can't exactly say there's not enough space under the bonnet of this car. If anything, it's one of the preferable things along with a V6. Yeah, this is, honestly, I feel like this is not going to make engineers vomit like the one I created yesterday. I feel like engineers would see that and they would feel really uneasy. This one, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like they might actually accept it if there are a few odd decisions. Like it's actually made a car that makes some kind of sense. Okay, aluminium heavy. I was going to say, I was thinking I was on the internals, like further into the design. I'm not, I'm just on the block material. And aluminium heavy, that's decent enough. It's not cast iron. So then we'll go renumber these stuff out of 4. Which ones should we get? Are we going to get 4? Oh, yes. Now, even if this is 2 valves, we've got a good setup. It does seem to like choosing 2-valve carburetted engines, but things could be a lot worse. And I should not be saying this because I know how the wheel reacts when I say things could be worse. Like that. But as I say, even being a 2-valve, after it had selected dual overhead cam, it had already built something half decent. Like, it was already in the same kind of boat that the boat of a good car. Just checking I've done these numbers correctly. It felt a bit off when I was typing them in. 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. It's eco, but it's aluminium. So this thing is actually going to be fairly light for what it is. Just the block material and everything, it seems to be working out. It's not complaining about dimensions at all. So maybe I could go with something absolutely gargantuan. And indeed I could. I'm not going with a 27-litre engine. I think I'll call it at 10 or something. I don't see why you would need more than a 10-litre engine, but it will fit a 10-litre engine in. So if we have to go with a 10-litre engine, we can probably somehow get it working. Not sure how, and I'm going to go with a minimum of 2, because if I didn't, the thing just wouldn't, move enough. As I say, it gave me a 1-litre engine before. So we're going with up to a 5-litre. Why is this making perfect sense? I'm actually beginning to get concerned. Like, it's a little larger for a 6-cylinder, but it still kind of makes sense. It's not absurd. Nothing about this car doesn't make sense. Like, nothing about it screams I am a hazard to myself and those around me. And that only makes me scared for what it's going to do with, like, the brakes or something. Just not give it any brakes. Well, it has to give it brakes, but it'll probably go with drums on the front and rear or something to punish me. So, yeah, honestly, I don't think this one's going to be cursed. It chose even a high-performance body, so it's not like it's going to be... I did build one quickly, like yesterday. It was a bit of fun, but it didn't save it. It was like a small sports car, and it put it in a SUV body, a crossover technically. Not sure why, but that was actually quite a nice cohesive car, until it selected a 2-speed transmission. Because of course it's going to select a 2-speed transmission. We've got 7 options here, so I'm going to have to slightly redo this because I did miss a 1 out for the engine size. There we go. Number 2, cast iron. Well, it's not cast iron heavy, to think of the upside, so it shouldn't make a car that just doesn't rev out at all. We should get some revs out of it. We've got 7 more options. This is where things are seeming to start going wrong, but I still don't think it'll be cursed, honestly. Because as much as the parts list here being bad can hurt it, it's still a fairly sensible size. Yeah, it wasn't quite like a Urus though. I think it was mid-engined and rear-wheel drive as well. But like that came out very obscure. As I say, kind of with the game backups and stuff between this PC and the laptop, it got lost in time. But it was a very odd thing. It was like a little Lotus, but in an SUV body. It weighed actually just over 900 kilos as well. I did like that thing, but it's unfortunately lost. We'll have to just hope the wheel builds me another thing like it. Which it won't be this, because this is a much larger car, but still. Oh, we're getting forged again. Heavy, but still forged, so better than cast. As I say, the one thing it's being cruel with is the crankshaft, and things could be a lot worse than the crankshaft. Again, counterweight, it could be a lot crueler, honestly. As much as I'd like a harmonic damper, it's not something that's desperately necessary. Go with 3 for the options. It kind of lags on the stream, which is odd, it seems to. We're getting valve timing on the intake. I think this is going to make a good amount of power, honestly. Okay, it's gone with 2 number 2s. Not the most sophisticated, but it's definitely better than having nothing. Now here we've got 4 options for various ones. We've got different types of turbo, which is why I don't like just numbering it like that. If it selects turbo, then so be it. Yeah, I mean, some sports cars are front-wheel drive. we don't question how the mighty Citroen is so fast, because my car is obviously with 160 horsepower. That's obviously going to beat Lamborghinis and Ferraris. But that is front-wheel drive and it handles extremely well, so that's what I mean. If my car does it, we've got fuel injection. Now, the wheel loves carburetors, yet we've got fuel injection. This is off to a good start. Well, it already was. But I don't hate it being naturally aspirated, because being naturally aspirated is probably going to work. Like, we probably have the power just naturally from this engine without it needing a turbo or a supercharger or any of that. We do have 4 options, but whichever it's going to be at this point... No, I'm messing up. I went 4-3, not 3-4. Multi-point electronic fuel injection. I mean, this makes perfect sense, though. And that's what I have an issue with, almost. Like, it's too good. It feels like it's not going to be any kind of challenge at all to tune this, because everything is just so amazingly good. Other than a few smaller bits that don't really matter. Like, I've configured cars before without even the wheel telling me to, with multi-point EFI and single injection, and it just generally works. I did it more for, like, budget reasons than just because I was being told to, but it can work well now. I should probably be scared. That's all I'll say. Because now we're on fuel type, I should probably be scared. So, number 2. How are you making sense, wheel? How are you doing something that's just this uncursed? It shouldn't be. I reckon this will probably even make like 200 horsepower just untouched. And that's, I don't know what to make of that. So we have got 5 options. We're going to need to delete that extra one. Oh yeah, this is 4-wheel drive. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I assume this was front-wheel drive, to be fair. So I'm making mistakes as well. But this is all-wheel drive. I forgot that. That makes perfect sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, so we're getting ultimate unleaded gasoline. That's not bad at all. It's actually a very normal, very conventional standard. You wouldn't normally win a road car on that, but it's good fuel. So I can't really complain about it. What's going on with this? Wheel, why are you being so kind? On Christmas Day, you literally gave me the worst thing you could possibly build, and then we're getting something that's actually a very well-rounded sports car. Perhaps high-performance sports car, even. We've got a race intake. This is what you should have done for me on Christmas Day, honestly. It's not 4-valve, but everything else, pretty much everything else I can get behind. I can understand it. And we're going to get another, like, race exhaust. Imagine that. Not quite, but we've got tubular long. We've got a very good header. This is... Like, what's going on with you, Wheel? Wheel? I don't know. I don't know what to say at this point. It's just being far too nice to me. I can't help but feel it's just waiting for a moment to do something cruel. Like, when it's being this nice, I feel like it's desperately wanting to be cruel. Wait, it's even given us dual exhaust. Why is this so logical? The thing I hate the most, it actually makes more sense than some of the things I've built that I was trying to do a good car with. We've got 4 now. Is it going to give me... is it going to decide to destroy the environment and have no catalytic converter? And I twitched the wheel. That's probably not good for it, but anyway. What happens, happens. Freeway. So it's not high flow, but that is good. We are not going to destroy the environment completely with this. It's a whole different kind of concern, because it's like, this is just good. What will the other cars that the wheel has created think of it? Because, yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think the other one can beat the Stratos, because I don't know if they got serious flaws or something, but the Lancia Stratos, I'm pretty sure it didn't have leaf springs on the front or a ladder frame. So the Stratos does at least have some things going for it. And look at that, like this engine is kind of messed up in terms of tune and stuff, but we're making almost 300 horsepower. I mean, the other car had its things going for it. I did lower it a bit and stuff, and it now looks better. I've got the image of it. So yeah, I did that. I lowered it in like the trim adjuster thing, because there was an option hidden away there. It does look a little better now, and I did a bit of tuning on it. It's not so awful as it used to be. But anyway, I will actually show the power curve a little better, because now I click off the window and then everything starts lagging on automation. We've got 282, and I mean 282 without this engine even being set up. This is going to be an outright monster. It's not going to be the same as that crazy 800 horsepower BMW, but you know, it'll be fine. Even if it gives me cross-plate tyres at this point, I feel I can make it work. And that's what's concerning me. Maybe it'll give me the absolute worst tyres imaginable. Just maybe. We'll have to bring up this wheel again before I forget. 3. Okay, is that advanced auto? That's not a bad option. It's not the most advanced transmission ever known to man, but still. I'll just do this again with the same numbers, because re-entering them would be a bit of a pain. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, thank you. I just realised advanced auto is not actually that bad. Some of them only have 2 gears available. Advanced auto has 4 as the minimum. Okay, I think it tried to mess me up on transmission, but 5 gears is honestly not that bad. It's usable, even if it is an automatic. Well, it's an advanced auto, so that means it's not going to be a complete slush box. This makes sense, though. Like, everything here seems to make some kind of sense, and I'm concerned about that. Like, what are you trying to do? It's even giving me a clutch differential. It's being too kind. Is this some late Christmas present or something? How much power can I send to the back? I wonder. So it can go up to 70% at the back, even though it's transverse. Sounds like that could work. Now, wheel. I'm just not going to say anything. It's been kind so far. Oh dear. Oh dear. I shouldn't have said it will be fine even on cross plies. I think I can make them work, but cross plies are not good. It's like, I'm going to be kind to you just so I can give you cross plies and make you upset. And like the base level cross plies as well. Not even the race ones. We have got 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Medium? I think that's actually the same as the BMW type thing with 800 horsepower had. You know what, this is... As far as cross-ply tyres go, I'll say one thing, it could be a lot worse than it is. I think if I make these a little smaller, my car's 16s, yes, I don't think we'll keep it on 16s, but yeah, the cross-plies in 2020, they go pretty, a lot better than the older cross-plies. So we go, I think with all-wheel drive we may get away with like 20s, just about, and that has decent width as well. So it could be a lot worse though than what it's done. Just hide the wheel for a moment. This is another thing. Do we have these Steelies as it shows, or will we get to upgrade these to something nicer? So we have 6 options here. I will just bring the wheel up again. It's still, even with the cross plies, I think it's going to be okay. We've got all-wheel drive at the very least to kind of compensate for lack of grip. And get alloys. You know what, this is probably still one, even with the cross plies, it's probably one of the better things that have just been randomly generated by the wheel. The wheel of misfortune, I don't know. Alright, you have one job, wheel. That is all I'm going to say. You have one job. Okay. It was so almost really cruel in giving me a 1. I say so almost, there was a bit of extra space, but it could have given me a 1. It did not. It gave me a 2, so we at least have the better kind of drum brakes, and enough size probably to make them large. Then we have 4 options next up. What will we do? Wheel, you've done a wheel thing again. It usually, well, before, I think on the very first car I built on the streams, it's done a drum SLS on the front and then carbon ceramic on the back. This isn't quite as bad. At least the one thing I can say about carbon ceramics on the rear, they shouldn't have brake fade that badly. So if I need to run them smaller, I can. That's the one positive I can bring out of this. Just don't let engineers see the brakes and I think we'll be fine. Okay, it's done 2. Could have been really cool and given me like 6 piston brakes on the back. They would be far too powerful. There we are. So, I've got 7 options here. And I need to bring the wheel up to demonstrate. Oh, sport under tray, I think. Yes. So it's not quite full-on race level, but I think this thing is going to rise above the cross plies and the brakes issues that it's got. Yeah. This is definitely going to be a British police car. It's got cross plies. Like, that's the only thing that is probably significantly worse, to be honest. My Citroen could also be a British police car, but I totally don't break the speed limit in that thing. Definitely not. We just don't talk about how that thing is extremely stable at speed. And has better suspension than a base model 5 series of the same era. Even though it's not. Race. Interesting. I'm not certain about this, but I think that goes straight from being the heaviest to the light to one of the lightest, most probably. I can check a bit later, but I think race is probably a lighter, more specific race interior. I mean, the other one, I think this, I don't know what era it will be exactly, but I don't imagine it predating cassettes for infotainment, so I'll keep it cassette and upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Because if it's yeah, French engineering. It is one of the better French cars though, I'd say. The newer C5, it went from like double wishbones on the front and multi-link on the back. For some reason they went from that, like mine has, to struts on the front and like trailing arm on the back, which is the same as this actually, now I think of it. That's kind of comical. So yeah, this has the same suspension setup as a C5 Aircross. Everything's come full circle. I think, well, it did say like non-independent, I think, on the back, so I'm just assuming it's similar to this. We have got what was it, 5, yeah, so I think that's the newest. We have got 4 options, because I'm getting distracted. I thought of actually doing some drawing of that Citroen though, like the initial D car, like Diesel Drifter or something, because I think it could be funny. Like go to techniquing an 11-year-old estate or wagon or whatever you call it. Station wagon, I think is the technical American term for them. And then Citroen calls it a Tourer. Most people in the UK call it a estate. A million names for the exact same thing. We have got electric variable. Wheel, I don't know what to say. Have you built the worst car in the world? Has a wheel, like, literally built one of the best cars in the world after building one of the worst cars in the world? I mean, I guess there's a cross-ply tyres, but even that, I think we have the technology to work around it. So we have 5 options here. All I can do is hope it gives me something with ABS, which it has cancelled out ABS before, but it looks like we have the opportunity. Summit doesn't give me this many options, I don't think, which is interesting. And the wheel. 3. So we have got a traction control and ABS, solid enough. not the most advanced, but it should be enough for what this car is. Safety, I mean, as I say, this is probably not any older than the 80s. Just going off the body type, I'd say 90s onwards, so I'll give it the kind of practical options for this body. Yeah, the DS is probably honestly better riding. The one thing I can say over the DS though is my car has electronic suspension stuff, and the mechanical stuff is not known to be as reliable as the newer electronic stuff. Okay, I'll take this. So it's a modern car. What kind of interior has it got? Yeah, it's definitely kind of accidentally, but it's gone for a modern high-spec sports car, I would say. And again, this makes too much sense. Now, is it going to create a Citroen suspension system? Like I would so want it to. We have a chance to go with 5 options. I mean, the DS, there's also the Citroen SM, I think they called it. Those things look amazing. Can't imagine them possibly being reliable, but the things look incredible. Not to be confused with the XM, because they have a million different cars that are named similarly. So I kind of sleepwalked through that, but we've got active comfort, we have got adaptive dampers and passive sway bars, because I think that's the active suspension, it just chooses that. Like, what's going on with you, Wheel? I think you might be a bit ill. You're not supposed to build cars this good. I think... I think, like, maybe the Wheel just had too much to drink and it forgot how to be mean. It's drunkenness. I don't know, like... This car that I've been through the whole process, it's not been cruel at all. The only thing that's less than ideal is the cross-ply tyres. In a serious way. So... I think we can design it. I can see the vision, definitely. I think we can do a bit of design work. Probably going to make like 350 horsepower, at a guess. And then we have, yeah, all this stuff here. How heavy is it as well? I need to get a look at that. I don't think it'll be too bad. 1719. Okay, for an all-wheel drive car with a fairly beefy engine, that's not bad. Quite front heavy, but not to a point of absolute disgrace. So it's a little on the heavy side and a little front heavy. My car isn't actually that unreliable. The V6, however, I didn't buy the V6. I got a manual 2-litre diesel, but the V6, there's a million different horror stories about the people who bought them with the V6 engines. And they also use that in a Range Rover, which, having a Range Rover engine probably says all you need to know. The fact that it shares the engine with that of all cars it possibly could. But yeah, mine is pretty good with the 4-cylinder. Just, not everyone will have had that experience. I could go with green like here. I feel like I go with a two-layer colour scheme. Or I could even go with a black roof, to be honest. Actually, I think if I do this and go with a black roof, it could look really nice. Could even go with a glass roof, to an extent. So I think we want them not to flake, we just want something kind of shiny. Because I am still honouring what the wheel told me to put for colour. I'm just not using it absolutely everywhere. Like, this is not cursed. And I don't know what to say about it. It's actually just built a good sports car. I don't think I've had this before. The pillar trim. There we go. I think we've got alloys. And I think personally we might as well align it in some way by making them black. I might make them slightly less glossy black, but I can try and tie this together. For now, at least. Yeah, the track width is just off. I'm going to have to fix that. I think there's got to be some wheels that look good at this size. Maybe these ones? Cross-ply tyres don't quite look right because they're cross-ply tyres. But I think I can work around it. Maybe if I go with some like mesh type wheels of some kind. But they look a little better. They look a different era. So, with those, I mean, I don't know, like, did these work? I feel like I'm almost getting somewhere. I just don't know exactly what to use. I feel like, yeah, I feel like these are probably the best I'm gonna get, to be honest. It will look less bad when I fix the track width and stuff. Maybe I could actually change the colour on the bumper. I don't know. I'll have to have a look. Can I just change the front bumper colour? Kind of. But it doesn't change the whole thing. I think I'll try and adjust that with the various... Actually, if I widen that, I think it looks quite good. Can probably bring that back. It's just a very long front nose and it doesn't need to be. Although now I've built a snowplow. I can give it a big nose. Kind of as a snowplow. Can make it even more of a snowplow, or slightly less of a snowplow. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I've been in a Clio. That thing rode far better than it had any white to, honestly. It's a Clio 2. I don't know about the newer ones. Yeah, that Clio 2 rode like a limousine. It had no white to. As I say, I can't really speak for the newer ones. I mean, my car is very unique in general. Like, that's why I like it, but most French cars are not like that one. It's not like other cars, I tell you. It's not like the others. It's different and edgy. Can give it a really pitiful rear window size. I feel like having that too large just doesn't do any good. It looks a little odd, I think. I would say have a massive wing that blocks the rear window. Doesn't that kind of defeat the objective of it? I do kind of feel like this is rear-engined, although it isn't. Oh, I can lower that, make it super low to the ground. And I mean, hey, the prompt did say high-performance sport, so lowering it wouldn't be entirely inaccurate for what I've been told to build. Now I have to try and make this green, like, blend over the headlights and stuff. I can build a good car, honestly. It's not going to be completely ridiculous looking. I've just realised it's gone full circle in a way. I used Corvette headlights on the ridiculous thing, and now we've got a Corvette body. Probably without Corvette headlights. That's a coincidence I didn't expect to come across. I think these look like they might be BRZ or FRS or whatever they're called these days headlights. But I think they do look surprisingly good in this kind of context. They look small. I mean, I can probably make them larger. This is actually going to be a performance monster, though. Compared to the other things the wheel has built, I imagine this thing is going to take a corner. Why does this look like, what's it? Is it Renault Spider they called it? That makes me think of that for some reason. From the 90s, quite a limited production sports car. So if we go grill... I think if I go maybe one of these... Make that smaller. Could probably get that one, that's probably going to work a little better. I have to cover the red as well on the paintwork. Red on the paintwork to get it to fit. This is absolutely not cursed. I mean, it looks a bit odd having to go high up like this, but I think I can make it work. Might win with the might just win with the same black colour across the car as a consistent theme type ordeal. As much as I love chrome on this car, it's not really a place you need chrome. Yeah, this is not bad at all. Like, there's no entertainment value in it though. Like, it's not as entertaining building a car that's legitimately good, that's the issue. What top speed will it do? I didn't ask the wheel one thing, and that's what kind of aerodynamics it would like. Might as well ask that when I can, but I do want to see what it'll do. What's going on with the, I think that might be the gearing. No, I mean, I think that might be the engine kind of being unfinished, so I'll go back to that. But I will check what kind of aerodynamics it would like me to add. So I'm going to go with all-wheel or neither. I mean, I'll actually do the, I'll enter the things, so it's less confusing. So we're going to go all-wheel or neither. And let's see what it gives me. Is it going to give me all? You're building a race car at this point, honestly. So we have got all of the downforce. And now the exhaust works. I think drive mode sport, drive mode off. There we go. It's yeah, that's the Minion's mustache, which is also the exhaust. Yay, let's cut this corner. It's not actually bad over the bumps. The other one, you try to avoid bumps at all costs. Yeah, I need to stop looking at the chat monitor when I'm trying to drive. It's a failing of mine. I did actually upload a version of that also to my Discord, the car files, because I do that for all the stream cars, so anyone that wants to mess around with an automation and perhaps fix them or make them worse, whatever can do it. I'll probably do it to this one as well. It actually looks like it hasn't got a back window. It has, it's just tiny. I'm just kind of frustrated. This car drives far too well. It has got eyebrows. The eyebrows is definitely something. I mean, I know, like, I'm trying to pay attention to everything, but I'm actually supposed to be driving. If this car drove worse, I would have thrown it into a wall. Oh dear. Look, believe me, I mess up typically at this corner. I'm not very good at driving, and I have slightly bent the front wheel. It's drivable, okay? If this car was bad to drive, I would have completely destroyed it, so I'm going to take that as a win. The car was able to somewhat save itself, and I can probably get another lap in now. Because it's very lightly damaged. I can still drive it at some speed. Ah, yeah, the brakes could do with a little work, but they are working, they are functional, and they are very predictable overall. And this is just built by a wheel. I wouldn't have expected the wheel to actually do a job of things like this. There we are, so Also, there's the badge. You can probably see on the back, but it's like the O with the arrow next to it. That's representative of the wheel. Yeah. Believe me, that C5 drives really nicely. It's, that's probably the only reason I can drive, because that car is just so nice to drive. Although it does sound, I think it sounds like a bomb. Believe me, there's a Citroen C4. The C4 sounds like something that's going to explode. I don't believe they are known for exploding, but naming a car C4, maybe it's not the best idea. It's also not to be confused with the Corvette C5. Like, they have the exact same name. Well, technically it's called Corvette, but they have both the exact same name assigned to them. The C5 is not a C5. So there's, I guess you could say there's like 4 C5s now. There's the first gen, the second gen, the third gen Citroens, and then there's the Chevrolet Corvette C5. Couldn't be confusing at all. I need to focus on where I'm driving. I mean, this surprises me how quiet it is. I'd say that's the biggest surprise. I expected this thing to be really a lot louder when it got into the game because there's no mufflers. It is not loud. It is actually really quiet, and I'm going to have to slow here because I can feel already it's getting quite precarious. I think this corner ends up taking me by surprise because I just don't realise how tight it is. Yeah, the Corvette C4. Yeah, see, that's the issue with Citroens. They had, I think they had like C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6. For some reason, no C7, and then they had a C8 minivan. Go figure how. I actually looked up things for a C5 and it brought up Corvette C5 forums. So that should say all you need to know about the confusion. And it's two cars, you know, they're so different. As far as I know, there's never been a Corvette with 5 seats. Oh dear, understeer, understeer. It really isn't that bad though. I've built worse. It kind of looks like it's drunk because of a slight front wheel misalignment, which is my fault. That's not to do with the wheel, actually, this time. I can't blame the wheel for that fault. Come on, I'm going to just cut across here. That was actually fairly within the track limits, surprisingly enough. I think that's lap 2. I am going to go at some speed here. I think this is going to be the quickest car, to be honest, because it's making power, it's making controllable power to all 4 wheels. And it's very flat and stable. The other one I built, the kind of retro rally thing it was building, it didn't make the same power as this, and it wasn't as stable on the whole. This thing is extremely stable. Like, even with the minor amount of steering angle damage I have done, it's still very predictable. Can I cut this corner? Yay! I just about did. Car, yes. To be fair, it is kind of red. It built a very festive car colour-wise, because I didn't choose these colours. It wasn't a wheel exactly, but it was a random colour generator that chose these colours. And it made a very festive car. I added the black roof and stuff, but some of the black trim, but it chose the red and green colours. They were off the wheels choosing. I need to slow down, I need to slow down. Wait, did they actually release a new DS? Because it's kind of sacrilege if they didn't give that hydraulics. Or at the very least, some kind of air suspension. And I had another accident. The second lap was good, though, at least. So through all of it. Now it's veering, I think it's veering the other way, is it? I don't know. No, I think it's veering the same way. Steering damages. It's jolly good. I'll have to bring out the Santa truck thing briefly that it built. Like, that was not on a stream, but they literally built a truck for Santa, which I found pretty amusing. With the colours and everything. That I would say is probably quicker than this actually. But this car I would say is generally a little nicer to drive. The only thing on this is the tyres. It's not selected great tyres, but for a random wheel, this is just a little too good. Ah, if they did. The issue is, with what cars they're launching now, I somehow don't feel they would do a good job with a lot of the retro ones, because it's like the Renault 5 thing they made, they had to make it a complicated electric car, when the point of the Renault 5 was it was always a simple, cheap car. So they kind of just ran against it, trying to make it kind of like a somewhat luxurious electric car. It just runs against what the Renault 5 is supposed to be, in my opinion. Or was it... I think it was the Renault 5. Oh dear, what's happening? Oh no, the Santa truck, that was it. This is the Santa truck. Like, they literally built a Santa truck. I think I played around with the colours a little on this to make the red more sparkly and stuff, but still. Like, this is 580 horsepower. This is not slow, and I think it has a 10 speed or something. Was it 6 speed? That's still not bad. I think it's automated manual. Like, this is nice. As I say, the other one handles a little nicer, but this is actually genuinely quick. And it's got a V12, a 9-litre V12. I think this is noisier. And this actually has a lot more sound to it. Yeah, the Twingo is... I quite like the little Twingo. I mean, that stayed fairly true to its purpose. The Renault 5, like, all they had to do was what they did with the Twingo, honestly. But they gone and put loads of electrics and stuff in there and trying to turn it into an electric car. It's fine if you're trying to do that on something that was like an intentional GT car. It might work, but on a small economy car, I just don't see that working. There's the dirt track. You didn't see this. I'm definitely not, like, teleporting through the track limits. You just didn't see that. That never happened. This is also on cross-ply tyres, might I mention. Has an obsession with putting everything on cross-ply tyres. Whee! I mean, it does build cars at times that are just so much fun to drive. I'll also mention, this is double wishbone front, leaf springs rear. There's a reason things are sometimes done this way, and not leaf springs front, double wishbone rear. Like, that car just being so backwards. And, yeah, I'm going to leave it here for now. I can actually stop my various recordings. Behind the scenes, ooh.